Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us in this press briefing regarding the upcoming changes for Dracul, but especially the referendum on the religious sponsor by the state and monarchy. I want to go ahead and start off by letting everyone know that this is a monumental moment in this country. As we all well know, this is the first time something like this has ever been proposed. And at first, I was going to make a royal decree on this, but then I figured, especially with there being non-Christians in Dracul, I wanted to get a viewpoint from everyone on how they thought this should play out. And that's exactly the reason why we made this into a referendum, because Dracul is a beacon of freedom, and we value the input and the ideas and opinions of other Draculians. So that is the reason why we went to referendum instead of just putting this into effect without any explanation. So I'm very excited about this. Whether it passes or not is not going to upset or make me happy. It is just to see what citizens of Dracul want and how we should go about it. Now, regarding this, I want to make it abundantly clear that should this referendum pass, we are not turning Dracul into a theocracy. The Church of Dracul would be a ceremonial entity towards the monarchy and government. We are not bringing religious individuals into the government. They will not have any legislative power or authority or legal power. It is simply ceremonial, symbolic, as a gesture, a nod to the orthodoxy religion that Vlad the Impaler himself was a part of. Anyways, if we have any questions from our press, I'll be more than happy to take them at this time. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Your Royal Highness, can you explain what exactly is meant by the Church of Dracul becoming the state-supported religion and how this will affect the average citizen?
Oh, well, absolutely. Like I said before, this is a symbolic gesture and a nod of approval and a nod of historical context. As many of you know, Vlad the Impaler himself was of Orthodox Christianity. We already have a Orthodox cross on our flag, as many know. The cross is in the beak of the bird. That itself was added a few years ago when we made the change to the flag and the national symbol in a nod to Vlad. So basically what we're doing with this referendum, what we're trying to get through, whether people want it or not, but what we're trying to do is we're trying to incorporate more historical appreciation, more historical context towards the personal life of Vlad. And hopefully, if it does, everything will turn out wonderfully. We would love to get some ideas from the church on how we can go about improving the nation, not just for Christians, but for non-Christians and non-believers of faith. And that's pretty much what we're aiming for.
Many are concerned that this could infringe on the rights of non-Christian citizens. How does the government plan to ensure religious freedom for everyone, regardless of faith?
Well, since the beginning, Dracul has always been a free nation, especially along the lines of religious freedom. It is in our Bill of Rights. It will remain in our Bill of Rights. If the referendum does pass, those who are not of Christian origin will still be able to continue to believe how they want to believe. They are not obligated to participate in the church. They can pretty much continue on with life as they have been. And if they want to, they can completely ignore the suggestions or the involvement of the church. It is going to be a very subtle involvement. I don't want people thinking that, every day, every decision that is made, every event that occurs, every holiday, that the church is going to be right there every single time making a decision on it. It's not going to be like that. It is going to pretty much everything's going to remain the same. We are just wanting to incorporate them for symbolic purposes, but nothing will change for anyone regardless of their religion.
Is there a specific reason why the government has decided to make this move now? What are the broader goals for Dracul as a nation with this change?
Well, we're not trying to race into so many decisions, all at the same time. It took, what will be 8 years in September, 8 years of Dracul's existence. It took us 8 years to even think of this idea. These, again, like I said, are just ideas. Whether it passes or not is not going to upset or make me happy. We decided to make these changes to incorporate this into a referendum because we wanted to see what people think of continuing to add more, little by little to Dracul, especially in terms of Vlad's personal life, his religion, things along those lines. So we basically want to incorporate the religion into Dracul for Vlad's personal reasons, for historical purposes. That's pretty much it. As for what the future holds and what it will do for the future, really not that much. Like I said before, you're really not going to see the church that much. They're not going to be making heavy decisions and things of that sort. I might ask them, what would Jesus do in a moment like this? And that's pretty much all it's really going to be when you really get down to it.
Some critics have compared this proposal to theocratic systems of government, where religious leaders have political power. How do you respond to these comparisons?
Well, we're definitely not going to be turning into a theocracy. We're not going to be bringing people who are, religious individuals and, authority figures in the church into the government because they are religious individuals and because we want them to incorporate religion into the government, into legislation and things of that sort. Now, this can seem a little hypocritical as well, especially at the moment, because we do have acting Chancellor Whisper Williams serving as our Chancellor. And for some, they might know that he is the Archbishop of the Church of Dracul. Now, I want to make something very clear on that because I can see how that can be a conflict of interest. So let me explain that. Chancellor Williams came into Dracul because we needed him as a chancellor. We needed someone who could step up to the plate to fill an empty role after the resignation of former Chancellor Cooper. We did not bring Chancellor Williams into the chancellor position because he is a religious individual, and while he has served through that position, at no point in time has he ever made any decisions because he is a religious individual or based on religion. In fact, we might have him do one of one of two things. He may step down if this passes, just to make sure that there isn't any religious influence. I don't think that there would be. I've known him for a very long time. He is a man of integrity, so I have no doubts about that. Nothing that he has ever done while chancellor would ever make me question, or has ever made me question, is he doing this for religious purposes? But we might have him ask him to either step down as archbishop or to step down from the chancellery. I would ask him first, of course, to step down from the archbishop position, because it's something that he rarely participates in. It's not a very active thing that he does here. And B, we need him more, of course, as a chancellor than as a religious individual. So I just wanted to clarify and clear up any confusion on that part. But that's pretty much how that is. We will not be having any people coming into the Dracul government and making decisions solely because they are religious authority figures in Dracul. All right. Well, thank y'all very, very much for your time today, and I'm glad I could answer these questions, provide some clarity on what possibly could be if this does pass. Y'all have a great year.